With pick 74 in the 2025 NFL Draft, Denver makes a little bit of a head-scratcher. They pick Pat Bryant, wide receiver out of Illinois. A lot of people viewed him as more of like a day 3, round 5 type of player. But let's get familiar with Pat Bryant. 6'2", 204, so some prototypical size for a wide receiver. He was a 3-year starter for the Fighting Illini. Last year, 984 yards and 10 touchdowns. He doesn't have incredible speed. I mean, he's 4'6", 40-yard dash, so just solid athlete, solid athleticism. But I feel that one thing that really jumps out to him is the way he can use his physicality to get past people. He's also sneaky good when it comes to run after the catch. He also adjusts well to tough throws. And when you're playing in Illinois, I mean, they had a good quarterback last year, but it's tough to put together a great highlight reel in Urbana-Champaign. So you look at his stats over last year, he's not a speed demon. He's not going to be someone that probably stretches the field for you. But last year we saw Denver, they kind of had a type with their receivers, right? I mean, at least with Devon Vele, they wanted guys who were reliable when it came to the catch, not guys who were viewed as top consensus prospects because they were super fast or something like that. He played the Z position, so I'm not sure if he's going to, line up traditionally at the X position outside. You might find him more in the slot in the NFL, but we'll figure out what Sean and George Paton want to do with him. I think he's going to go in there and he's going to compete with Troy Franklin and A.T. Perry for like wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5. So that's kind of the background on who he is as a player, right? The strengths are, he's got good, this sounds weird for it to be a strength, but it's what Dane Brugler has. Natural coordination. I sure hope so. You're a wide receiver. That's a tough thing to lead off with right there. He doesn't have, top-end speed or anything like that. He's got good after-the-catch ability. He can make good contested catches. I think he plays bigger than his size would indicate. So it's a nice big target or big-ish target for Bo Nix to throw to. I'm at a bit of a loss here. There were some other good receivers out there. Jalen Knoll from Iowa State is a big-time playmaker. Elick Iowa-Manor from Stanford, good run blocker, and that's not what you want to be known for, but that's an important part of the gig early on as a rookie receiver. So I'm definitely, we look at the top receiver. I would take any of these 4 guys over him. But Denver decided to, go get their guys. They did it with R.J. Harvey, and now it's Pat Bryant, wide receiver out of Illinois. This is probably not going to be everyone's favorite pick initially, and then it's probably going to become people's sleeper pick in a few days when they watch some highlights, they do some research on him, and they go, all right, I'm going to buy in. You got me. We're going to talk more about the draft for Denver in just a second here, but make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you want to get 35,000 subscribers to help your favorite Broncos YouTuber out, I need you to scroll on down and click that sub button. So let's kind of catch up on what Denver has done so far in the draft. Jahdae Barron. All 3 of these picks have kind of come out of, I wouldn't say left field, but, not right down the pipeline. You know what I mean? Jahdae Barron, I think, was just a product of best player available. How is he still there? We can't pass on someone who's that good at a cornerstone piece like DB. I would have preferred Caleb Johnson, and I would have preferred most other wide receivers here. Now, a lot of you are probably going, PD, you don't know, shit. You're not Sean or George Paton. They know way more than you. And you're not wrong. They do know more than me. I'm not trying to pass myself off as more in-depth on the NFL and football than those guys. But not every GM and head coach nails every single draft pick. So this is definitely a head-scratcher of a pick that if it doesn't work out, we're going to look back and go, what were they thinking in round 3 with a day 3 guy? That's way too early for him. What a big-time reach. All right, more on what Denver's going to do next in the draft in just a moment, but I do want to give a quick shout-out to our sponsor today, which is Game Time. Game Time has an awesome deal right now for Broncos Country. Over at Game Time, they make getting tickets faster and easier, even for hard-to-get playoff seats. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to tip-off or first pitch. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NBA playoff tickets if you want to go see the Nuggets, you want to go see the Avs or the Rockies or any other sporting event in your area. They've got last-minute deals. You can save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. Get started with Game Time today and take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHAT Sports for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. So just to kind of summarize and wrap up who Denver just got in round 3, because I know all of us are fairly confused by the pick. Here's what Dane Brugler had to say about Bryant. Bryant isn't super dynamic, which will be tougher to mask against NFL competition, but his body coordination and ascending technique match well with his natural tracking skills. He projects as a backup possession target who can fight for a wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3 role in the right situation. You can look where Tom Downey from Chat Sports had him ranked 178 overall, and Denver got him at 74. So this is a gamble by Sean Payton, right? This is someone in that war room, and probably Sean, sticking their neck out, going for a guy that most people did not look at in round 3, but they did not want to live in a world without him, and they were willing to move up and get their guy. I mean, it's a little bit like a fantasy football draft where you've got your sleeper, and you just don't want to risk someone taking him, so you don't mind if you go a few rounds early. The backfire here is it's not a fantasy football league; it's a job, and if Pat Bryant does not live up to the billing, then man, oh man, you just lit a top 100 pick on fire when there were some good receiver options available at that spot, right? I think Iowa Manor was kind of like a better version of Bryant, and Jalen Knoll from Iowa State is a huge playmaker with the ball in his hands. I think those would have been 2 good picks right there. So I'm going to, push back and say I don't really agree or like the last 2 picks by Denver. I would have gone with Caleb Johnson over R.J. Harvey, and I would have gone with most other receivers over Pat Bryant. But there it is, Denver's first 3 picks in the 2025 NFL Draft. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. That way you don't miss any future picks. But let's wrap up with a good old-fashioned grade the pick. Maybe don't, actually, because I don't want Pat Bryant to see this and have his confidence crushed. That is the worst, when a player gets picked by a team and no one on that fan base wants that pick to be the pick. So grade the pick. And Pat, if you are seeing this and you see D's or F's, that is just what they do in Denver. It's opposite. That's a good grade. It's a little bit different in Mountain Time. He's from Florida, so it's just not what you're used to. But yeah, different world on the other side of the Mississippi River. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to, sign off for this video. We're going to be live still on our live coverage for Day 2 of the NFL Draft. So if you're watching this, join our live coverage after this video wraps up in 3 seconds, and I'll see you then.